there's a lot of things about being a woman in this society, uh being a woman in this society that isn't brought up, isn't talked about, and I don't even think a lot of people really understand it, because I know at one point I didn't understand it. I mean, I grew up in a household, I grew up in a family where both of my grandmothers were married to my grandfathers, and they were their wives. They were like the pedestal and the icon, the figure of the family. And when I look at their relationships, I see that both of my grandfathers had children outside of the marriage. Both of my children, both of my grandfathers essentially cheated on my grandmothers, and they were still married for years. I mean, years, and they still stayed together. So now I look at my mom's relationship, I look at her relationship, and I don't know the details, of course, of what happened between her and my father, but I do know that she wasn't happy and she ended up leaving with me as a young baby. And so now I'm grown and I have a daughter of my own, and I've been through relationships on either end where I felt like I was the trophy, the main girl, and then I've been in situations where I knew that I was something that was not really valued, kind of pretty much a side chick. And me being young and naive, I didn't really understand how to go about it, what was even really happening, because situations like that, they usually try to keep the side girl under wraps and kind of like in oblivion and just let her be in love and whatever. So I want to talk about 5 things that you never know, that you would have never known about the effects of the trophy wife, of being a trophy wife, and of people even looking at women as trophies. Okay, so the first thing is, when there's a prize to be won, then that means there's a game to be played. And when we look at women as trophies to be obtained, when there's the icon of the trophy wife, there's automatically an idea of having to compete over a woman, that a man is inherently supposed to chase the woman and she be his prized possession once he's gone through the chase. Now, I know that you can go look up and Google all type of stuff, and it'll tell you that men are hardwired to chase a woman and essentially conquer a woman. And that's something that I feel like needs to be put in its place in 2019, because I am not something to be conquered. I am not something to be chased after for your own, accolades and to compliment a man. It's 2019, and I want young girls, women, to look at themselves and see themselves as something much more as a prize to be won. And when we as women and even men think that this is a game that we're supposed to be playing with each other, it automatically creates this type of insincerity within a relationship, and overall just cheating. There's a lot of cheating, and not necessarily just but there's a lot of strategy. That's a good word. There's a lot of strategy that goes into getting a woman or being in a relationship when that's not, I feel like that is completely unnecessary. There's so many people who are trying to strategize their relationship and figure out how to do this and how to do that, when it should always just be a flow of energy. It should always just be natural. And that's something that is really, I feel, is really toxic. So that's number one. So when there's a trophy to be won, there's a game to be played, and once you win the game, you now have the trophy. You have now conquered, and you are on top. You are number one, because this trophy is now telling you you're number one. This way of thinking adds to the way people think about life in general when it comes to just living. Life is not a competition. Nothing, you should be competing against no one for anything. The only thing you should be competing against is your own downfalls, is your own pitfalls, is your own challenges. And when a woman is seen as a trophy and something to be conquered, it takes away from her individuality. It takes away from her as a person, someone with feelings, someone with thoughts. It takes away from the beauty of the whole entire relationship. Just because somebody wants you, and this is something that so many women struggle with understanding, well, I would say young girls, is that just because someone wants you does not mean that they value you. Just because someone is calling you all day long, texting you all day long, showing you off to their friends, their family, the whole 9 yards, it does not really mean that they value your essence. And when women feel like we're being chased, and when they feel like he's texting me all day and he's doing this for me and he's doing that for me, yeah, that's great, but does he value you? Does he value who you are outside of you just having a vagina and being very, very beautiful, or whatever else he might be chasing you for? But does he value you? These are the things that we gotta start asking ourselves as women, and really get to the bottom of our ways of thinking that may not be serving us in the best. Number 3 is possession is not love. When you're seen as something that people want, men want, they want to have you now. They want to, so once they won the trophy, once they've conquered the trophy, play the game, conquer the trophy, now they have you. And you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Even if I go over here with this one, even if I go over there with that one, even if I sleep with this one, flirt with this one, kiss on this one, even if I do pretty much whatever I want, you're mine, because we're married now. We are bound by vows that I would say inherently only apply to the woman. Like, somebody please tell me how many marriages that exist in this country that the woman passes down her last name to the family instead of the man passing down his last name to the family. Or even there being a combination of names, or even there being a creation of a new surname. Like, it's automatically seen as the woman takes the man's last name, the children takes the man's last name. This is now his property, his family. And though it's not said, though it's not really like emphasized, that's the aura, okay? That's the gist. That's the gist. Whoever this woman is with, that's his. That's him. That's him right there. That's his wife. It's his children that he's putting in a spotlight for everyone to see. And whatever else he got, nobody else really knows about it because they not the main, they not the truth. So number 4, this is a really big one. This is a really big one because, oh man. Number 4, when we feel like we're a trophy, when women feel like we are a prize to be won, we also feel like we have to compete with other women. And this is the most toxic out of all other things that I'm gonna say, in my opinion, because it completely kills the sisterhood. It completely kills the love as women that we should have for each other. We over here side-eyeing each other because we thinking that she looking at our man in some type of way, or we're over here competing for a man's attention, or doing things to our bodies in relation to other women, and how we see other women, and how pretty she looks, and how much we think of ourselves. It's a whole game that gets played in our mind when it comes to the way we see ourselves within the status and hierarchy of a man's life. And we will go to different lengths to try to get this man to be all in our face instead of all in her face. Because we want to feel like the trophy. We want to feel like the prize. We want to feel important. But this is completely the wrong way to go about it, because he's not going to give you anything that you can't give yourself. He's not going to give you that fulfillment or security unless you were already fulfilled and secure before. And by us being in a certain state, when we are in a certain state, I mean, the jealousy is just real, and this is something that really needs to be addressed. So I think that every woman should really take the time and ask themselves why it is that they may feel jealous or may feel like a certain way towards another woman, and if it has anything to do with how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their man, whatever, any insecurity, like deep questions gotta get asked. Okay, and so the 5th thing that you never knew about having a trophy wife or seeing women as trophies is being a trophy and being possessed also means that you have a master. And when you are possessed by someone, when you have a master, I mean, you're not gonna feel free. And I'm not talking about freedom in a physical sense. I'm not talking about freedom, you can go here, you can go there. I'm talking about freedom in your heart, freedom in your soul. Like, can you speak the way you want to speak? Can you express the feelings that you have, the thoughts that you have, without somebody looking at you thinking that you're crazy or that you tripping? Or can you do those things and feel empowered? That's a big one, because I know a lot of women experience being belittled in their marriage, in relationships, or whatever, because they're still unsure of themselves. They're still unsure of their intuition. They've been socialized to think that their own emotions and their own thoughts that they receive are useless. And if not useless, they shouldn't all the way be trusted, and they have to be proven. They have to be proven and solidified by a masculine force. And I mean masculine force meaning like facts, information, left brain type stuff. Anything that you feel anything that you emote, it has to be solidified by some type of proof. Otherwise, you're crazy, we don't believe you, and you could just go sit down somewhere. And that's not the case whenever someone is speaking purely factual. You know, nobody is telling them, well, you know, we don't want to hear that because such, you don't have any feelings behind what you're saying, so what you're saying is invalid. That type of stuff does not happen often, and so that goes to show you that there is an imbalance between masculine and feminine. There's an imbalance between these energies, and we're going through a shift right now to where those energies are about to be balanced again, and the pendulum is gonna swing. It's gonna swing because it has to. That divine feminine has to re-emerge and see herself in another light that is empowering, that serves not only herself but the whole entire world that we live in. It's a lot going down. So I just want to say, choose love out of all things. Choose love. Choose love to guide you. Choose your love for who you are first, because you're not being selfish, mama. You're not being selfish. To anybody watching this, you're not being selfish when you put yourself first. That's what you're supposed to do all day, every day. And yourself includes everyone else around you. Yourself includes everyone else around you. It does. In every sense. But that's only if you're in tune and you're actually listening to your heart. So listen to your heart, listen to your spirit, let those things guide you. And I hope this video enlightened some people. Go ahead and read the blog post. I'll post it in a link below. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, let me know your thoughts. And this is the Side Mystic. Check out the 7 Commandments of Love. Shout out to everybody who purchased already, and reignite your life with passion, with assurity, with love. So yeah, gratitude. I'm so in love with this video, so in love with this video. And my teeth, cause they straight, they nice and straight. I got short teeth, y'all. I don't know why I have short teeth, but I like my short teeth. I always like my short teeth. You see my mom's teeth, they're huge. I was like, how I got the short teeth, Jean?